What do you stand for? Using stand for in different ways. American English in Minutes, lesson number 74. Acronyms and initialism. Sometimes we take the first letter of each word in a name or phrase to shorten it. For example, USA, UK, EU, or IBM for the United States of America, the United Kingdom, the European Union, and international business machines. This is called initialism. I guarantee you that most English speakers do not know that. Instead, most people think those are acronyms. However, an acronym is pronounced as a new word rather than as individual letters. For example, NASA, NATO, or the more modern YOLO are all pronounced as words. NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And YOLO, you only live once, the motto of many millennials who want to live life to the fullest. What does this stand for? Whether it's initialism, which I'm telling you is not a well-known term, most everyone thinks FBI, URL, ATM, and VIP are all acronyms, or a true acronym. The question is, what does this stand for? Here, stand for means to represent. What does FBI stand for? Federal Bureau of Investigation, or the joke is Female Body Inspector. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, and I suspect most people don't know that. ATM stands for Automated Teller Machine. A teller is a person who works at the counter in a bank. VIP stands for Very Important Person. Some people put a period after each letter. Both are probably correct at this point in time. What about LAX? Many international students and visitors I've known over the years have mentioned flying in and out of LAX as though it were an acronym. LAX is initialism, that term that few people know or use, and it stands for Los Angeles International. Yes, I know international does not begin with an X, but it's not called LAI. This is the Los Angeles airport. We do have a word, lax, which means not strict, relaxed. If the rules aren't strictly enforced, we might say, you're supposed to show ID, but they're a little lax about it. They might not ask. ID stands for identification. Also, note that lax, as in he lacks manners, has the same pronunciation as lax. The stars stand for the states. If a symbol or color conveys meaning, it stands for something. In the American flag, the 13 stripes stand for, represent, the 13 original colonies, and the 50 stars stand for the 50 states. Older American flags have just 48 stars, before Alaska and Hawaii became states in 1959. The color white can stand for purity, or surrender if it's a flag. An owl can stand for wisdom. A rose can stand for love. What do you stand for? We also use stand for to refer to a person's values or deeply held beliefs. The superhero Superman's motto was truth, justice, and the American way. Those are the things he stood for. The real question is, what values or beliefs do you stand for? But we'll just say, I stand for truth, or America stands for freedom. If you stand up for something, notice the up. You defend it. Will you stand up for your rights? Stand for the national anthem. When the national anthem is played, a nation's citizens are supposed to stand up. Sometimes we say stand up for, but usually it's just please stand for. In a courtroom, everyone is supposed to stand up when the judge enters. The bailiff says, all rise. These are times when we very literally stand for something, meaning get out of your seat and stand upright. I won't stand for it. You probably know I can't stand it, meaning you dislike or really hate something. I can't stand cigarette smoke. It's unbearable. I won't stand for it means I refuse to endure something. I will not tolerate it. This is usually said by a person with some authority when angered about the behavior of others. A parent won't stand for being lied to by a child. The boss won't stand for employees coming to work late or stealing money from the company. If you won't stand for it, you're not going to allow it. You won't permit it. Again, this usually comes from the mouths of parents or bosses. I won't stand for this behavior in my house is something an angry mother or father frequently says. Let's review. With an abbreviation, an acronym, or initialism, for example, Mr., LARP, WWW, we ask, what does that stand for? In this case, they stand for Mr., Live Action Role Play, and World Wide Web. If a symbol, color, number, or some other image represents something, it stands for it. Values are things we stand for. You can get out of your chair and stand for a reason. If you won't stand for something, you're not going to put up with it. I can't stand for you to go. If it's hard to say goodbye when someone leaves, I might say, I can't stand for you to go. Or more commonly, I can't stand to see you go. Do you know what AEIM stands for? American English in Minutes. Check out some more videos. See you soon.